question 13a. The diagram shows a circle centre O. Work out the value of x. Circle theorem questions. Some people get mixed up. Does it mean that these two are the same? Is one double the other one? If you have forgotten, I know they're not drawn accurately, but use your common sense. You can see these angles are not equal. This one's bigger, and the theorem is that this one, the angle at the centre, is double the one at the circumference. So that means x is 47 multiplied by 2, which is 94. Just one mark there. Next question, B. This one's a lot more difficult though. 5 marks. If PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral as shown, prove that PQ is parallel to SR. Now this bit here is quite difficult to do. If things are parallel, how are you going to work out, how are you going to show that they're parallel? How are you going to show they've got the same gradient, something like that? People find that difficult. However, you can pick up some marks without doing this. And maybe it's when you pick up the marks by doing something with this question here, with the cyclic quadrilateral, it might help you to make some steps and progress towards getting the final answer. Cyclic quadrilateral, what should be shouting out is the fact that opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180. If you're not sure what cyclic quadrilateral is, it's any four-sided shape where all of the corners, all of the vertices lie on the circumference, and the opposite angles add up to 180. So let's just try and use that to get some marks. So these two must add to 180. So 7x minus 30 added to 3x add 10 equals 180. And then what we have here is an equation. So really you should be then unstoppable from solving this equation. 7x plus 3x, that's 10x. Minus 30, add 10 is minus 20. And that's equal to 180. Now that's a really similar situation that we had at the beginning of the paper somewhere. Work out what x is. Even though you might think it's got nothing to do with this, it will be getting some marks. 10x is 200 because we'll add 20 on. So x is 200 divided by 10. So x equals 20 degrees. Now you might be thinking, where's that get we? But because we know what x is now, we could work out these angles. So let's just work out those and see if we notice anything. So if x is 20, this is 4 lots of 20, which is 80. 90, 100, 110. So this one is 110 degrees. This one is 3 lots of 20, which is 60, add 10, 70. This one is 7 lots of 20, which is 140, take away 30 is 110. Now just stop there and have a think. What do you notice? Well, obviously these add up to 180 like they should, but then these two are the same. Now, because that's 110, opposite needs to add up to that. That will be 70 as well. So these two are the same, and these two are the same. And that maybe might start you thinking down the right route. Now, there's a few different things you can do here, but I'm just going to show you one way. The question says, prove that PQ is parallel to SR. So this is PQ, and this is SR. So we have to prove that those two are parallel. Now, if you remember, properties within angle parallel lines, this is just one thing you could do. If these two are parallel, then this angle here has to be equal to this angle here. It's corresponding angles. It's a bit like F angles as well. But if these two are parallel, the angle to the right of the parallel line must be equal to the right of this parallel line. Now, so if we work that out, and we can show hopefully that it's equal to that. Now, this is angles on a straight line here. So 180 minus 70 equals 110. So that's 110, which is the same as that. So you could just put here, since 110, that's PQR. Hang on, let's write it a bit better. Where's my rubber? Get off. This one. Let's write it a bit nicer. Right, so you could write somewhere, since angle PQR equals 110. Don't write outside the margins, but I have to. I'll run out of room. Since angle PQR equals 110, and this angle here is SR. Let's make up a point here, let's call it X. And SRX equals 110. Then PQ and SR are parallel. A few different things you could have done, but I think that last bit is really, really difficult. Maybe it's the last 1 mark, perhaps even 2 marks here. However, I think the 3 marks for question 13 there, 3 marks, should be pretty straightforward because it's really similar to what you did right at the beginning. Setting up an equation, using a fact above, solving it, working out the angles, and then yeah, it got a little bit more tricky, but 3 marks out of the 5 isn't bad.